There is a law written into the fabric of this universe, a law older than time, deeper than science, more certain than gravity. It whispers in the dark before the dawn and thunders in the heart of every soul who ever dared to reach beyond their station. The law is simple. You cannot dream small and live big. Yet every day people try. They shrink themselves to fit inside someone else's expectations. They trade their wild, electric dreams for safety, for predictability, for comfort. They walk the tightrope of conformity and call it a life. But let me tell you the truth. You will never touch greatness from the comfort zone. Comfort is the silent assassin of ambition. Ask yourself, what kind of life are you really building? One that makes noise, or one that disappears the moment you stop breathing? The mind is a furnace. What you feed it becomes your world. When you feed it doubt, it burns your courage. But when you feed it vision, unapologetic, limitless vision, it sets fire to everything in your path that dares to say you can't. Napoleon Hill once wrote, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But too many have forgotten how to conceive boldly. They think realistic is wisdom, when it's just fear in disguise. They think dreaming big is naive, when it's actually the most disciplined act of courage a person can commit. Thomas Edison didn't dream of a better candle. He dreamed of capturing light itself. Henry Ford didn't ask how to build a faster horse. He envisioned a future that didn't yet exist and then pulled the world into it. They were not men of perfect circumstances. They were men of perfect conviction, men who refused to dream small, and so must you. Because here's the secret. Life doesn't respond to lukewarm desire. The universe has no obligation to entertain your mediocrity, but it will move mountains for the relentless. You think belief is optional? It's not. Belief is the currency of creation. Without it, you are bankrupt before you begin. Everything starts with a decision, a defiant, soul-level yes to the life you were born to live. Not the life you were told to accept, but a life that breaks ceilings, defies logic, and rewrites what's possible for everyone who ever watched you rise. You think the great ones waited until they were confident? No, they moved while shaking. They built faith in motion. Confidence is not the fuel. Decision is. But decision alone is not enough. You must clarify the vision, not a vague hope, not a half-hearted wish, a clear, blazing, detailed image of where you are going, down to the smallest detail. See it in the morning before the sun comes up. See it at night when the world is asleep and your future is still awake. Feel it in your blood. Talk about it until people think you're insane. Good, let them. Because the vision is not for them, it's for you. And if they don't laugh at it, you're dreaming too small. You want to live big? Then start by thinking bigger than your neighborhood, bigger than your job title, bigger than your past. Stop consulting your history when designing your destiny. Vision births purpose, and purpose is the most dangerous weapon on earth. Because when a person walks with purpose, they cannot be stopped. They may stumble, they may fall, but they will never quit. Because purpose is the fire that keeps burning when motivation runs dry. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Imagine that. The man who built empires of fantasy was told he wasn't creative enough, but he had purpose. And purpose doesn't need permission. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need evidence. It creates the evidence. But purpose without discipline is just daydreaming. Discipline is the bridge between your vision and your reality. It's the steel you walk on when inspiration fades. Because the truth is, you won't always feel like doing the work. The fire will flicker. Doubt will come knocking. But discipline is the guard dog at your gate. Discipline means showing up when no one's watching, practicing when others are partying, saying no when the world begs you to say yes to distraction. It is not punishment, it is self-respect. It is choosing who you want most over what you want now. Action is the final proof of belief. You can scream your dreams from the rooftops. You can tattoo them on your skin. But if you do not act, they die unborn. Ideas are cheap. Execution is everything. You must become unreasonable in your pursuit. Ordinary effort creates ordinary results, but extraordinary lives demand extraordinary effort, beyond logic, beyond comfort, beyond excuses. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than he won before he became president. He failed in business, lost the woman he loved, battled depression, but still he rose because he moved. One step, one letter, one speech at a time. He understood what most people never will. Action defeats doubt. And once you act, truly act, gratitude must walk beside you, because gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds you of what you built, even while building more. It transforms struggle into growth, setbacks into lessons. It rewires your brain to see what's possible instead of what's missing. You think success is all grind and hustle? No, that's half the formula. The other half is joy. It's appreciating the journey while still climbing. It's pausing long enough to say, "Look how far I've come," before setting your eyes on the summit again. You want to live big? Then dream in gratitude. Wake up with thanks. Work with purpose. Celebrate without apology. Gratitude doesn't mean you're done. It means you honor the becoming. But gratitude doesn't mean comfort. Because to stay on the path, you must be adaptable. The world will not bend for you. Conditions will shift. Markets will change. People will leave. Storms will come. You must be like water, strong enough to carve stone, soft enough to flow around it. Adaptability is not weakness. It is strength in disguise. It means you're flexible without losing your core. It means you bend but never break. It's how every innovator, every giant, every game changer survived long enough to win. And when you get hit, and you will get hit, resilience is what gets you back up. Resilience is forged in the fire of failure. It's born in rejection, betrayal, disappointment. But each time you rise, you grow stronger. Not because the pain disappears, but because you refuse to stay down. Colonel Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before someone believed in his chicken recipe. Over 1,000 times the world said no, but he only needed one yes, one door, one moment. That's the math of resilience. Keep going until. Because the dream is not denied, it is only delayed. And delay is the training ground of the chosen. Keep learning, always. Because ignorance is not bliss, it's bankruptcy. The more you know, the more power you hold. Read, study, ask questions, seek mentors. Wisdom is not age, it's intention. Be obsessed with learning like your life depends on it. Because it does. You think you can coast? You think momentum lasts forever? It doesn't. You must fuel it. You must evolve. Because what got you here will not get you there. Learn, grow, adapt, act, repeat. This is how big lives are built. And remember this, your dream was not put in you by accident. It is not random. It is a call, a summons, a divine appointment with destiny. But destiny is not guaranteed. It is earned in the sweat, in the silence, in the 1,000 invisible moments where no one believes in you yet, but you go anyway. Because you cannot dream small and live big. It has never worked that way. It never will. So the choice is yours. Dream safe or dream bold. But don't you dare settle. The world is watching. Your future is waiting. And your time is now.